Oh my gosh, I just interviewed the president and it was the best thing ever. I was just over the moon. I still am over the moon, oh my god! I can't believe this happened. I can't believe it happened. Hello from me and my crazy hair. I was wearing a beanie earlier, so my hair is like all crazy and I just put it up like this and now it looks even crazier, I think. But I kind of like it. I'm into it. Anyway, for those of you who may not know, I interviewed the president recently. I still can't believe that happened. I've been thinking about this for the last several days, and the more the experience kind of sinks in, the more amazing I realize it really was. And I'm glad that I've been able to kind of have some time and let it sink in. So now I can tell you the full experience of it all. If you missed the live interview with Swoozie, Destin, and I, you can watch us interview the president on the White House YouTube channel. So it's just youtube.com/White House, and you can see the entire interview there. So I'm gonna take you on a journey. We're gonna start the day before the interview happens. We basically go through an entire rehearsal for the interview. So they even had a fake president there that would help us go through our questions. He would respond to them, and the interview was timed down to the second because the president has a million things he has to do. So we had to get our timing perfect. It was awesome because we got to see our real sets for the first time. This was like the real thing. We brought our personal items to put in the set. I had a picture of me and Nugget and then a little print piece of art that says "Here's to the journey" put into my set. And those are personal items of mine that I just wanted there with me. I am so happy that we went through the rehearsal process because I am naturally a very shy person. I was about to interview the president, so I was very excited but also extremely nervous. There were lots of things to pay attention to, from pushing our sets in at the exact right time, following all the cues that were given to us, and then also not knowing what the president was going to say, like how long his responses could be, etc., etc. We had to pay attention to if they were gonna cut questions from our stack of questions that we had, because you can't know how long his answers are gonna be, and we have this specific amount of time. So thank God we practiced that, because otherwise all of us would have been like, oh my God, what do we do? And then the day of the interview, I was actually really calm. Pretty much stayed quiet the entire time just because I was trying to stay in my calm Zen zone. And then the closer it got, the more excited I became. How are you feeling about...
I am feeling amazing. How are you feeling about...
the White House?
I mean... we're here again, Ingrid, really?
Again? We already had a tour last night.
So are you excited to talk to POTUS?
Yeah, I am.
On a scale of 1 to OMG, like how stoked are you?
OMFG.
Word!
It was so surreal to walk into the East Wing and just see that it was about to happen, and that surge of excitement came through me, and then the surge of nerves also. And then it was time for the president to come in, and it was such a surreal moment because I was standing there next to my set and you could tell that the president was on his way. I kept looking at the door and all of a sudden he just pops in the room, and it took a second for it to sink in. Oh my gosh, that's the president of the United States. And he walked into the room, was really calm and friendly, just said hi to everybody. I just had this moment of tears filling my eyes and just a big smile coming onto my face because it was like this energy that was in the room. We were all so excited. All three of us were so ready for this, and we had worked so hard to prepare for it, and the moment was finally here. And I just kept thinking, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I soaked in every single moment while I was standing there. I listened to all of his responses and Swoozie and Destin's interviews, and I was completely captivated. And then it was my turn. I remember right before I gave my set the last little push in, I stood there and took a big deep breath, and the president president and Steve were standing right there. Went over, shook his hand, and that's when the glee just hit me. I was like, this is it, it's happening. And we had the best conversation. It almost didn't even feel like an interview because he has such a kind and calming presence, and all of his answers were really thoughtful. I was still very nervous. You could probably tell when you watch the interview, and I stumble over one part in particular because I was just like, oh my God, this is happening. But you know, you're human and you're not gonna be perfect. I'm so happy that the entire interview went really well. And there's one question that I asked in particular that's been getting more attention than the others, and it is the one about the period products tax, which the president didn't even know about. So I was like, slam, just saying. And I'm sure there are tons of other people that didn't know about that. I didn't know about it until fairly recently. But the first step in change is awareness. So we can make some progs in that department. Also, the sense of self part was really, really special and meaningful to me because you could tell that he is just such a thoughtful person. I was just blown away by what he brought, and he remembered the stories behind them and the people behind them, which is really, really awesome because he has a billion things to do in his day and he remembers this stuff, which shows that he's just a cool human, you know? So after the interview, we took a 360 photo with the president, and I also asked him for a selfie and he said yes. So we all took a selfie with him, and then he said goodbye to everyone. He took some more photos with everyone else that was in the room, and just so kind and generous with his time. And then when they let everyone else back into the room, Eileen was there with me, and we just hugged each other. We were both like tearing up and crying because there had just been so much anticipation, and Eileen was just such a big support to me and had been there like every step of the way. And then Destin and Swoozie and I were just like, oh my God, you were just like filled with this amazing energy. And it is definitely one of the best things that I have ever done. It will forever be banked in my memory, and I will continue to look back on it because it was truly so special. So that was it. Just lots of hugs, lots of love, and lots of overall joy and admiration for everyone that was there, especially Destin and Swoozie, because, you know, I said this in my other video, we're really different people, but we just made the best little team and we got along so well. It was really, really fun hanging out with them and getting to know them more. I think the biggest thing that I've taken away from this experience is realizing that it's important to support the issues that matter to you. You may be thinking, oh, I'm not really a political person, but if there's something that you want to see change, if there's something that you believe in, I think that makes you political. Being political doesn't mean sitting and watching C-SPAN all day. I think it really means knowing what it is that you believe in and wanting change for the better. And you put those two things together, and I think that makes you a political person. It's important to bring awareness to the issues that matter to you. And I did that in my interview, and it was so gratifying. I was really inspired by the entire experience. So I encourage you to go out there and get involved with things that matter to you. And before I go, I want to say thank you to all of you for sending me all of the encouraging tweets, for tweeting me your questions, leaving comments with questions, and just telling me what matters to you. I just could not be more grateful for all of your support and kindness. And also just your excitement, because I feel like we were all just really excited together. And that is something worth remembering. So until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will link the full interview with the president down below if you haven't seen it yet, or if you want to rewatch it. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. Oh my gosh, also, we met the dogs. They were so cute.